And we are live. Going live right now as my normal streaming network went down, so I had to go to my backup one. So bear with me as I'm getting all this stuff set up. All right, just give me a few seconds. So I am about to get this rock rolling. Give me a few seconds. All right, let's get this show on the road. Had a last minute thing that I wanted to do, start this podcast up, and I went to Sioux Falls today, so I was running a little tight, and my normal streaming website didn't pop up and start running today, or didn't start working. There's a network error, so then I had to go to a backup one real quick. So bear with me here as we're gonna try to get through this 30-minute little session, about 30 minutes, and gonna roll from there. So I made a little presentation for you guys. Got my brand on here now, starting to get that rolling this week, getting more stuff done. And this is my first podcast, so it's gonna be a little rough, and hopefully I get better week to week. And I would like to continue this week to week, so hopefully you tune in weekly, and I'll be great, and it's gonna be a fun experience for me as this is something that I'll pursue going further in my career. So my brand name is Daytime Sports, then my slogan and motto is breaking down the game one story at a time. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna start with. Then next slide, we're getting the website going. So I've been working on it last few days, and we got some sweatshirts in there. I'll be sharing the website later in the week after order some stuff to make sure it comes in, looks nice, but I'm pretty sure it will. So we got the website up and running. I think there's like 15 items I can go to it real quick, see what's all in there. Oh, now it's 16 items. We got sweatshirts, got hats, got oh, sorry, I didn't wasn't able to change. Let me change the slide so then you guys can see here. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Change it over now. So we got sweatshirts, we got hats of all different colors, got some mugs, a little flat bill hat, another t-shirt, some long sleeves, um, more t-shirts, got a chugger hat, and then another color of logo on a sweatshirt. So yeah, that's what I got started the last few days. I've been working on, so that's why I haven't been able to get more content out this week. But hopefully this week I can get the content back out and running, and we'll be rolling here. So let's get back to my presentation. That's a little bit of what my website looks like, what's going on there, and hopefully you guys will go support me and buy something when I get that. Which I'll order this week, early next week, see how it's going. And I think it's going to be pretty good experience for me. I've learned a lot from all of this, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. So we're gonna go back to the website now, and also my dad made me a sweatshirt, handmade, and this is what it looks like. It's pretty sweet. So this is what I'm expecting. Like, I mean, the t-shirts come on my website. So yeah, be pretty good. So we're gonna roll back to the website, and we're gonna go straight in to Elkton football. What is the playoffs gonna look like? I made this last week, so playoffs should got published Friday night after all the games were done. Top performers of the regular season, and who is gonna get this team who is gonna get this team to go in early November. So that's what we're gonna talk about for football right now, as we're looking to make a big push in the playoffs. But yeah, so we're gonna go right into Elkton football. Let me silence my notifications real quick. There we go. So Elkton football, they're coming in to the postseason 8-1 as then extra game schedule due to the Newburgh Dolphins forfeiting. They got Brent Heckles, which got them pushed up to the 2 seed. If they hadn't been able to play Brent, then that would be the 3 seed and be looking to play the semifinals on the road, but they're the 2 seed. They play on Thursday at 7 o'clock. Show up, be loud, as we're gonna need to be loud all postseason as these boys are gonna make trying to make a run all the way. And then my big thing is taking one game at a time, one play at a time, win the play, win the down, and after that, then you'll roll with the ball from there. You win the play, then you're probably gonna win the game most likely. So if you're just focused on that play, then good things are gonna happen. Then we're gonna go look at the top performers of the season. So I'm gonna change my page to the stat page real quick. So Colt Beck was the quarterback this year as he's a senior for Elkton. Come in, he was the quarterback the last couple of years, but it's probably his best performing season this year as he's coming in to the postseason with 59, 59 completions for 90 attempts with a 65% passing average with 1,250 yards, 18 tuds or touchdowns, and one interception. And then his quarterback rating is 246, which that's absolutely insane. You don't see a quarterback ever have that, even in high school. It's really hard to do something like that. And his one interception right here is big, as it's tough to do with teams in South Dakota play good defense, but Beck's able to just sling it around over to the defense and hit the big targets for touchdowns as he has 18. That we're not even to the rushing stats yet. Then we're gonna pop down here and look at the rushing leaders. And we have Elliot Erickson, who got the big load on the season. Feel like after he hit the bye, then he just absolutely took the ball and went to town with it with that 350-yard game, and then um I think he had like 170 game back to back 170 games, something like that. So yeah, he after that bye week, he just took off and nobody can tackle him as he's just putting his head down and getting getting downfield for big chunk plays. But he has 103 carries, 1,304 yards. Man, he's averaging 12 yards of carries. Absolutely insane. That's over a first down per play or per carry. And then he has 20 touchdowns, which if you go look at that, him, him and Dak, that's 28 touchdowns out of your starters right there between pass and your leading running back. I'm gonna jump down here, back rushing. He rushed mainly at the beginning of the season. Had a few hiccups later, but he still is over 500 yards. 40, he has 46 carries for 567 yards. Another 12 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns, and yeah, between Elliott Erickson and Colt Beck, and they're almost in 2,000 yards, and they're gonna be over 2,000 yards when we get here in the postseason. Go down to receiving, check down back, Elliott Erickson, because he's the running back. He has 7 receptions, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Lane Schindler stepped up huge here in the last couple of games with 8 catches, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Miles Poindexter has been getting the ball a lot more lately, but he's been consistent catching the ball. He isn't I don't think he has a drop all season. If he does, it's not too many, but he has 14 receptions, 384 yards, 8 touchdowns, and that's Beck's favorite target to go to, I feel like. Then Crawford with 8 receptions, 140 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Stevens with another 14 receptions, 330 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Yeah, that's your big bulk of your wide receivers right there, getting the job done. Hopefully, can keep rolling on the offseason. Beck can keep slinging the rock around and do his thing, and we're gonna be having a fun time in postseason. That is for sure. Jump down to the defense now. Elliott Erickson, starting quarterback, has 46 tackles, 31 solos, and 8 TFLs. So usually don't see cornerbacks getting much TFLs, if any, unless they're blitzing. But D line do a good job surrounding the running back and quarterback, making them run backwards, so then the other guys can fill and get TFLs. So yeah, Erickson there, nice job by him. Then Schindler with 31 tackles, 21 solos, and 4 TFLs. Poindexter's the biggest linebacker for the Elks, making all the tackles, 77 tackles, 58 solos, and 14 TFLs with 2.5 sacks to go with that. And then your big D end, Quinn Wesley coming off the edge, 57 tackles, 34 solos, and 22 TFLs with 8.5 sacks on there. He's going to be pushing close to 10 in the postseason, probably surpass 10 sacks. So that's pretty good stat when you have a DN having over 10 sacks here, going to be in the postseason. Then I was not even getting to the other DN and then the nose guard either. Zion Stevens, or I guess we can go to Colt Beck. He hasn't played as much in defense, but he's just starting to get rotated back in here after last game. Is going to be a huge factor for the Elks coming into the postseason this year for the Elks. He has 20 tackles, 14 solos, 3 TFL, but you're gonna see that number rise up as he's been playing a lot more at backer and a little bit rolling into safety with a couple minor injuries here and there. But hopefully those players are back and everyone can play their normal spot here week 1, and if not week 1, then week 2 in the postseason. But we need one game at a time, focus one play at a time, and play by play, we'll get to the end of week 1 and come out with a victory. Davion Stevens has 50 tackles, 34 solos, and 12 TFLs, adding on there 2 sacks. Joseph Nibby's been banged up the last couple games, but he still has 41 tackles, 30 solos, 4 TFLs. Then Berkeley Hammond also banged up lately, but he's been rotating in before that. But sorry, Berkeley's out here at the end of the season. Joseph was hurt a couple games in the middle of there, but he's back. So Burke's the one that was hurt, but we're expected to see him here hopefully week 1 in the postseason. get things rolling for him. It's been pretty good rotating guy there at backer, and hopefully gets healthy and can get back and be a stud linebacker. But he has 22 tackles, 12 solos, and 9 TFLs, adding 2.5 sacks. They're gonna jump down here to some more players. Osland has been rotating back, 25 tackles, 11 TFLs, and 11 solos and 2 TFLs. And then Jacob Wesley at nose guard. Usually you don't get much love at nose guard. He can't get much tackles because everyone else, but nose guard's job is just push him back and fill the hole. But he still has 19 tackles, 11 solos, 3 TFLs, and 1.5 sacks, which that's good for the nose guard. And if you don't see it on the stats, you can see it on the game field that Jacob Wesley is filling up the middle and no one can get around him. With Wesley and Boersma on the ends, they're creating a good pocket this year. It's probably the best pocket I've seen out of Elkton since I've been going to Elkton. And quarterbacks and running backs have a hard time trying to run the ball up the middle or even scramble to pass the ball. So three linemen, defense linemen, doing a good job with the backers filling with um Poindexter, Stevens, Beck, Hammond, and Nibby, all at linebacker, rotating in when they're healthy, doing the job. And David Olson, 19 tackles. He also plays mainly nose guard. 19 tackles, 16 solos, six TFLs, and 3 sacks. Huge step up here. Elkton's gain from the nose guard. Jacob Wesley and David Olson playing their first year starting on varsity. Then we got Tate Boersma. You all know Tate. He does his job. He's just out there like an anger man. He's a nice person in the classroom, but he's on the field. He does business. Same with Quinn Wesley. Best DNs in the state right there between Wesley and Boersma. They have 59, or Tate has 59 tackles, 43 solos, 22. He has 22 TFOs. Holy smokes. Didn't even see that when I was looking. And 6.5 sacks. So holy smokes, Tate's getting it done on his end. Then down here, you got a little turnover machine or turnover column. Poindexter forced a fumble, recover a fumble. I'm pretty sure there's more fumbles on here. They just haven't been uploaded. Same with the interceptions, but you guys can see interceptions there. Then I don't think there's much other. So that's your little box score out of the Elkton team, and hopefully they can keep grinding in the postseason and take it one play at a time. That's where it starts at. We're gonna go back here to my presentation. So yeah, and then who's gonna get their team to the dome in early November? What player is gonna step up? And I think it's gonna be it starts with the line, and they've been doing a phenomenal job this year blocking their butts off for Cole, getting Elliott big chunk yards for running the ball. And then Beck's just gonna have to he stepped in the pocket great last game, but he's gonna have to keep doing that in the postseason. Steps up, hits his main target, Poindexter, and then Stevens gets back. He can hit him and Schindler. Then yeah, that's what I'm expecting out of Elkton. And we're not going to talk about who they have to play next week because we're going to take it one game at a time, one play at a time, one game at a time. And we're going to move on to next week. So this week they're going to be focused on Hamlin coming into the postseason 8-1 as a 2 seed. Games at 7 o'clock on Thursday, and yeah, Elkton's looking like a strong team this year heading into the postseason, and only a couple minor injuries. Next, I'm be talking about the NFL Super Bowl contenders, the MVP race, the power rankings, and contenders versus pretenders. So the Super Bowl contenders this year, I believe, are let me just roll to my next slide or my next graphic, my ESPN graphic here. My ESPN graphic. So my Super Bowl contenders, the Buffalo Bills are obviously going to be up there. Chiefs are at 8, but they can always make a big push. And then this year we see a bunch of new teams in the AFC, but like the Broncos, Chargers, I don't think they're going to have enough push. I'm thinking it's going to be either the Bills or the Chiefs. They have the most experience in the playoffs for the AFC, and then the NFC also toss up. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 5-1, and Tampa Bay sorry, I lost my train of thought. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are number 1 in the NFC. They're looking good with their wide receiver core. A couple of them are banged up, but holy smokes, Emeka Egbuka stepping up as the rookie for the Buccaneers, and he's like wide receiver number 5, 6, or 7 in the NFC. So, yeah, I see the Buccaneers, they could have a big run in the playoffs. Packers, they haven't looked great lately, but those first 2 games looked great for them, so hopefully they can get things turned around, finish getting up healthy, and find a little depth in the cornerback position. They can make a run. Niners, they lose players all every week, but they continue to win games. The Eagles have had some hiccups, but I think it's because there are lost a couple offensive line. If they've figure things out late in the season, then they can make a run as they dominated the last in the Super Bowl. Rams are a young team with Nakua and Kyren Williams. They can be a sneaky team. Seahawks, I don't have high expectations. Probably make the wild card. I don't know if they can get a win, but they had a big they made a big gamble for Sam Darnold after what he did last year against the Vikings, and it's paid off. Got him 4 wins. So, yeah, Seahawks have been rolling the ball. The Lions have been doing pretty good after that week 1 big loss to the Packers, and then Bears, I don't see much out of the Bears. Panthers have been rising lately with 3 straight wins. Cowboys Cowboys put points on the board, but they just can't seem their defense can't seem to step up and get some stops when they need it. As you see here, they have 222 points for, and they've let up 206 points, and no one has even got to 200 points yet. So the Cowboys, their offense looks good, but their defense looks ugly. And then, yeah, NFC is strong here, but yeah, that's who I expect out of the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, some teams that can make the postseason run, and then the Super Bowl. So yeah, it's gonna be fun as we're gearing up here midway through the what is it, week 7 next week's gonna be week 8, so we're almost halfway through NFL season. I feel like it just started yesterday, so yeah, can't ask much more for Super Bowl contenders. MVP race right now, I got Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know who I would put at 4, but yeah, those are my top 3 MVP race. And then like, off rookie of the year, we got obviously, like, I don't even know, probably I can't think right now of offensive rookie. It's probably gonna be like a running back. My mind's just blanking right now. There hasn't been any big names that I can think of off the top of my head. Let's go look here. Oh, Jonathan Taylor, that's the name. He's looking to end the season with a triple crown with the most rushing yards, the most touchdowns, and then the most carries. So, yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor might get Offensive Rookie of the Year. James Cook's obviously gonna be up there. Bijan Robinson, and then wide receivers for Offensive Rookie Offense Player of the Year is Jackson Smith and Najigba. Chase is always gonna be up there, Nakua, Pickens, Jefferson, they're all gonna be up there for Offense Player of the Year, and then Defense Player of the Year, you know, you got, like, Hutchinson, Parsons, Garrett, Brian Burns, Nick Bonito. Sorry, I can't speak. There's a couple for Defense Player of the Year. So, yeah, those are MVP rates. We kinda talked about power rankings. I think the Bucks are 1, Bills are 2. Um, who's number 3? Probably let me roll back to my origi ori s slide here. Um, Packers are probably 4, Eagles are probably 5, Colts are probably, like, 6. I don't know. It's toss-up now because teams can upset any day of the week. Like, we saw the Broncos put up 33 unanswered points in the 4th quarter against the Giants as the Giants were leading 19-0, I believe, and they lost 33-32. Like, your defense can't be allowing 33 points in 1 quarter. It's just beneath the Lions' record of 34 way back when they did that, but 33 points is absolutely insane. The contenders versus pretenders, gonna be bouncing back here to my ESPN slide and talk about who's an actual contender, but I think the Colts can contend. They have the team to do it with Taylor, but just if Daniel Jones, he hasn't had much playoff experience, so we'll see. I think they're a contender. Patriots are Patriots are a sneaky team. I wouldn't say they're a contender or pretender. They're kinda just in the middle. Same with the Broncos. Steelers are always gonna be a pretender because they go they're 9-8. This year, they're looking a little better, but they haven't won a postseason game in, like, 10 years or whenever they did it last. Bills are a contender, and they're my favorite to win the AFC. Chargers are a contender. Jags are a pretender. 'Cause I haven't seen much out of Trevor Lawrence, and they can't get their run game going. Even though they did beat the Chiefs, but I don't think they're gonna make much of a run in the postseason. Chiefs are always gonna be a contender. Bengals are in the middle of the pack, and that's what we got there. And we got the Jets here. When are they gonna get their first one, or are they gonna win this season? We're gonna move to the NFC. Contender, Buccaneers, obviously. Packers contender. I think the Niners are gonna be a pretender because they just can't stay healthy. I'm sorry. If they had a healthy team, they would be a contender, but they're not this year. Eagles are a contender. Rams are a pretender because they're just young, I think, so they're not gonna make a run. Seahawks, kinda in the middle there. I think they'll win 1 playoff game. Depends what seed they get. If they win the division, then they'll get the 3 seed most likely, 3 or 4 seed, so they get a good seed, then they can win a playoff game, then Lions are obviously gonna be a contender. Then down here, there's not much going on down there. So those are my pretenders versus contenders. Go back to my slide real quick. That's it for NFL. Then we're gonna be doing a quick little snippet on the MLB. Who's gonna win it all this year? Biggest sleeper, biggest matchups and predictions. I kinda got to this late this year. So postseason's almost over with game 7 tonight with, Seattle Mariners playing, Toronto Blue Jays with Big Vladdy trying to get it done for the Jays. But we're wrapping it up this season, and the Dodgers made the World Series again, and that's my prediction on who's gonna win it. They're going to go back to back this year, and I want them to be playing. I honestly don't care who wins between Toronto and Seattle, but yeah, that's who I got. Then matchups, I think I go like game 5 games, Dodgers win because they just swept the Brewers. So I think Dodgers that's something that needs to go down in the salary cap. You can't be team can't have $1 billion and another team have $300,000 or how much the poorest team is. Guess they're not really poor because they still have 300,000 or whatever it is. But yeah, that's my take on MLB. MLB starts Tuesday. Top teams. We're gonna be talking about the top teams. Takes on the takes on the MVP. OKC, does OKC have a dynasty? And then the biggest sleeper to make the playoffs. So, or big to make the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs. I shouldn't put that in there, but the top teams are obviously going to be your OKCs, your Nuggets, your Lakers, your uh, Timberwolves. But those are your top teams. My takes on MVP obviously is going to be Shea Jokic, and then new one I got this year is Wemby. As hopefully he has a healthy and successful season. I'm projecting he's going to be in the top three with Jokic and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And then does OKC have dynasty as they got a bunch of young, or they had like they had a young team that couldn't put the pieces together with James Harden, Westbrook, KD, all all on that OKC team when they were young, and they traded him away, got a bunch of draft picks to get Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, Jay Will, Jalen Williams, and a lot more players off the bench. But do they have a dynasty? I think you can maybe say they have a dynasty if they go win the chip this year. It's a big take. I don't think they officially have a dynasty, but if they win it this year, then I think they'll have the dynasty or be building a dynasty there in Oklahoma. My biggest sleepers to make the playoffs, it's probably your Oklahoma City Spurs to make a run with Wemby and then Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper. That's my biggest take. Or the Orlando Magic with them just getting the number one draft pick in the lottery, getting Cooper Flag add on with Derek Lively, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving when he comes back, D'Angelo Russell. So yeah, that's my biggest sleepers to make the playoffs and make a good run at it. So gonna be I don't got a slide for this, but the next thing is gonna be talking about the next slide is gonna be talking about March Madness. Well, we got seeing I mean not March Madness, NCAA as that's gonna be starting, I believe, November 3rd, tipping off, and I believe we have a strong class going to go be going to the NBA this year with Darren Peterson, obviously from Kansas, AJ DeBainsta from BYU, um, Todd Pettiford from Auburn. Those are a couple big names, and conference play is going to be huge this year. If you make a good run in your conference, then you're going to have a good spot in March Madness, and it's all going to be started November 3rd between teams. I haven't got some matchups broken down. We'll see that next. Yeah, so 2 teams are playing big classics, big tournament, conference play, all that fun stuff, but some big predictions I have big teams that I have is gonna be stepping up this year is obviously BYU with that big contract team now paying AJ, I think his name's Rob White. This I My expectations have gone way down for the last 2 years how they underperformed, but they got rid of the old guys, they got rid of Hunter Dickinson, bringing in fresh blood, young blood, potential number 1 draft pick, if not 1, top 3. So, I think they can make a run, but it's not they can make a run if they want it to happen. Let's just hope that those can get that team wrapped around and get things rolling. That other teams in that conference, obviously your Iowa States, your Baylors, um, your Houstons. Houston's got a big recruiting class coming this year. They have high expectation. I think they're number 2 in the polls. And then you're moving to your SEC, obviously your Kentuckies. Kentucky has big classes. It's been $22 in NIL. Your Tennessee is always gonna be good. Your Alabamas, your who else is in that class? Arkansas is looking like they can have a big run this year, getting a couple big time recruits. And yeah, and then a couple other conferences, ACC. I don't know how UNC is gonna be this year, but they probably can make a run out of that conference. Can't be that hard. There's not much competition in that conference, but another big team is Duke with adding the Boozer twins, and then a couple of other key factors, players coming back, doing their thing. And your Big Ten with Michigan State, your Purdue that's ranked number 1 with Braden Smith. I don't know if Fletcher Lawyer still plays there, but they got that SDSU center. Can't think of his name, and I'm not for sure who else is good in the Big Ten, but that's my March Madness little wrap up there. We're gonna end the night, and hope you guys stay tuned for next week, and wish the best of luck of Elton in the postseason, and they're gonna hopefully get the job done, take it play by play, game by game, and they'll be able to see some good things at the end of the season, hopefully. See him in that dome. Thanks for tuning in with Isaiah Olson, and we're gonna see you next time. Peace out, and nothing much to say. Go support the Bulls on Thursday night at 7.